He didn't even call it that. He called it hypocritical hop.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's hilarious! Oh my god!
By
Oh,
D1.
D1. That's
D1.
that's when Kendrick shouted out in the song.
Shit's horrible,
Really?
bro.
Yeah, he was like, I'm trying to be like D1.
Yeah,
No.
Kendrick is a Christian rapper too, though.
I told him Kendrick is a Christian rapper.
Fucking Earth Gang, Christian rappers, yeah, all these fools.
I'm telling you, every 3 songs, he cuts out at the end of the song and goes, "That ain't hip hop. It's hypocritical hop."
Oh,
It's so corny.
so it's like a dissertation too.
It's got a whole point. You know, it's got point evidence explaining. You know, linking to the question. Oh, it's fucked up out here, man. It's so bad. Okay, podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, let's pop.
oh my god. 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 Holy shit, guys. It's what's up with the minutes. Episode 8?
Hey.
Episode 8? That is so many episodes.
I almost forgot the applause.
How could you? Don't forget the applause, man.
I wasn't
8,
ready.
You know what I mean? Now it's time for us to be placed up there. The Mount Rushmore of hip hop.
Mount Rushmore.
Started this shit. We started this shit for real. Ain't no one did it before us. No one will do it after. What's up with the minutes is the beginning of Omega. You know how it is.
Yo, I should have asked this before. I'm just thinking about it now. Is your mic on? Coping Mike Eagle?
No, I don't have. I'm going through laptop microphone. Laptop microphone situation.
Okay. Bet.
Yeah.
Okay. I think if you get to like a certain level of loudness, it kind of cuts out.
Okay.
Okay. Word. Let me
Excuse
not yell. Let me stay calm.
No. Bomb in the middle. Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
I'm great. I was really with Trey today on like, man, I don't want to record. I kept on hoping somebody be like, yo, I hurt my leg. I can't record today. I was like, yes, I'm glad you hurt your leg. But now that we on it, you know, I'm ready for it. So just a lazy day.
It's interesting. Like, you know, it turns out that I enjoy talking to you guys. So every time the opportunity comes up where I get to talk to you guys, I'm like, this is good and fun. Hell yeah, woohoo. Yay. I'm just it's nothing against y'all. I love it too. It's just I'm lazy, bro. Like I never want to do anything. Like people invite me out and I'm like, oh my God, I hate this. But when I get out, my social battery is straight. It takes me forever to just get moving.
That's real.
Fair enough.
Shit.
How you doing, Trey?
I am as good as I can be on December 3rd, 2025 at 7:22 a.m.
Hell yeah.
I made another batch of jerk chicken right before this recording. I'm trying to master the recipe.
Oh shit. Okay.
First batch was spicy as hell. I'm trying to incorporate some sweetness. So I'm like incorporating some honey to offset the spice. So
you gotta send that shit to us when you get it. When you get it perfected, man, you gotta send that recipe over.
You really like putting together spices? You buying one of them spice packs like a McCormick or like, you know what I mean? Like, this is my own recipe. I added honey.
Spices, bro. Put together the spices.
Okay, shit. Okay, I ain't know you were a chef, bro. I didn't know you were a chef. I respect that.
No, I started cooking this year and then I stopped out of nowhere, but like I'm back on it.
Yeah, my nana like she don't cook anymore, and I never learned how to cook from her, so I don't know. We've literally losing recipes. I don't know how she made the shit she makes, and she doesn't remember. Like she knows how to do it because she does it. She doesn't like know how to explain it. So we just the jerk recipe is gone. It's lost to time, dude. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy, dude.
Yeah, my mom can't cook no more either, and but I got all the recipes years ago. I learned how to do most of the shit that I like. But she also didn't like. I asked her the recipe, and she'd be like, "No, you just got to put a little bit on it, and then let it brown, and then." Stir it, and I'm like, yo, I know that part, but I need the ingredients and the amount. So how much salt? Yeah.
No, you don't get the amounts, bro. You gotta eyeball it.
Yeah, there'd be like a punch of salt. I have no idea.
You know what, like that much? Like, I usually go reach into the salt and just claw it out.
Real hip hop.
Brilliant action, dude.
It's like the Eminem beat, right?
There are too many rappers who have opposed doing that. Doesn't J. Cole have one as well? He's just like this.
J. Cole's like he's just like stop.
Yeah, and Common has his one week.
Oh, that was a big one back in the day. That one was big back in the day. Yeah.
It's kind of tough.
Yeah, no, that's tough. That's hard. That's hard.
It is.
Yeah, before we get into it today, we have like 1 million new patrons. We have like a million new patrons.
Patreon.
Dude, okay, we have a Patreon.
The members here.
Subscribe to our Patreon. Yeah.
We got a Patreon. We're gonna do a bonus topic this week. I mean, we're mostly just gonna yap, but like we might go over the Spotify rap shit if it comes out by the time this podcast out, and we just talk about some bullshit. But patrons, we do got new patrons. We have Nago, pretty sure they're new. We got Stilo, shout out Stilo from the Ox, that's the go right there. We got Outside House, shout out House, she's the go. We got Zoom, shout out Zoom. We got Keith, aka Thick. We got Caden. We got Evan. We got Ronald Joy. We got Bleach Alternative, and we have Dan of Free Music Empire. And last but not least, we have Grand Mega Flowers.
Hey. Clap it up.
Also, wait. Mega promised someone a shout out to timestamp the last. So
shout out to Devil May Swear for the timestamps. Good looking out, homie. Appreciate that. Because I try to. I try to ask. I ask the comment section and tell me why Trey and Gavin are like, no, hell no. I'm like, look at this, bro. This is what I got to deal with all the time and shit. Yeah, not that they didn't have to do it. I didn't tell them to do it, but they trying to say they not gonna do it, and also telling people not to do it and shit. Like, oh my god. But shout out to Devil May Swear. Appreciate you. Yeah.
Thank you for doing free labor.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
We'll pay you back with like love and appreciation.
I got the most utmost respect.
They're getting paid in exposure right now.
This
I can't eat exposure though. I can't eat exposure.
That's not what Puff Daddy was telling people and shit, bro. Like I just watched the Def C told me about that shit. I started watching the Puff Daddy. Yeah, it's produced, executive produced by fucking 50 Cent. So that shit is wild.
What does that even mean? What does executively produced even mean?
It means that he's not.
It means you telling you like doing the
financing.
You're just giving it money. That's what I've always assumed. It's just you just throw money at it and go. You can make a thing now. That's
they also have creative input too. They also have creative input, I think.
Sometimes it's a very involved title, and then sometimes it's like some shit niggas say where they just like get some brownie points and they really did shit.
I think I got an executive producer credit to my name. Actually, I don't got no IMDb, but because I let people shoot in my house a movie, a short movie in my house, I'm like on the credits and shit. So shout out to me. Check out my IMDb. I also got all my Pornhub endeavors. You know what I mean? All the work I did on that great site.
Your account's triple platinum on that, bro.
I think Pornhub fell off, bro. Streets don't fuck with Pornhub anymore.
That's an outrageous.
No, so wait. If you're on the YouTube only version, Mega's name was like TreDoes Pornhub Wrapped. And now that I think about it, I'm like 99% sure that's an actual thing. I think Pornhub actually has a rap. I don't know if I'm bugging, but I think that might be the thing.
What you think Trey be tapped into, Kosey? What do you think it searches on this nigga like white women feet.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a Japanese doorknob looking.
My reputation is good.
This nigga is crazy. Yeah. Y'all don't want to know what I be tapped into. I'm a real deviant.
Look at like, you know how the titles are always like a black beast completely.
Oh yeah, right.
That's Trey shit, bro. That's what Trey be on.
I mean, I can't really talk. If you look at the Japanese porn titles, man, it'd be like popping the world's most pathetic boner to my sister-in-law. Like, damn, oh, this video is fire.
Oh my lord. Wrap up the minutes is cancelled, bro. We gotta get out of here. Episode 8 is gonna be canceled, bro. It's gone.
A few more things real quick. Next recording will be our end of the year recording. So we'll be talking about the end of the year shit. So if y'all want us to talk about anything specific, let us know.
Throw it our way, dude. Let us know. Quickly as well, I've decided. Well, not decided. I'm already doing it. Every second Sunday of the month, I'm putting out a beat on the Patreon. So watch out for that. It's probably gonna drop like immediately after this episode comes out. So you know, like we out here. We doing the podcast thing. Patreon bonuses and shit. You getting your money's worth. You getting your money's worth. That's what we do. Okay. This week's topics are as follows. TreDoes is gonna come at us telling us about how in the current media landscape with the level and volume and speed that people are dropping at, you can't really pay attention to everything. And what does that do to our enjoyment of art? You know what I mean? Or how does that affect our interpretation of shit? How does it affect our love of shit? Yeah. I'm coming out here, I'm talking about this song by Open Mike Eagle. We should have made Otherground a thing off of his album Another Triumph of Ghetto Engineering. It's a good ass song, and I want to talk about it. There's a lot of things to it that I think are really interesting, considering Open Mike Eagle's space in the scene. You know how it is. And then Mega coming out here, he on his B-boy shit. You know how it is. Four element kid.
Yeah.
4 Element kid. He coming out here. He wants to know what our experience with that entire world is and how that intermingles with our hip hop enjoyment. And first of all, Trey, do you want to take it away? Do you want to tell us what the good news is today, my brother?
He wants you to start spitting the gospel so we can make that grift start happening. that Christian rap
what am I
podcast.
supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be doing?
He's in start your topic.
Oh, I'm starting the topic.
I mean, if you want to, I mean, that's what we're here for. But like, if you want to do something else,
I preface this by saying I'm not locked in. I didn't arrive here with the intention of podcasting. I am simply here with the vibes of podcasting. So music, a lot of it comes out. A lot of music comes out, and I'm really feeling it. I'm really feeling it at the end of the year because, like, I'm trying to do my end of the year piece. I like to write about my favorite albums and shit, and I'm trying to do this list. But like, so much shit still dropping. Like a Kai solo dropped, Rap Ferreira dropped. Still ain't checked that. Sleep Sinatra dropping an album. Ain't checked that out yet. PTY and Ghetto Philosopher dropped some shit. Ain't even get to that yet. It's crazy. And while I'm reflecting over things that dropped over the course of the year, I'm like, damn, like, niggas, you can tell by the list, like, people completely forgot about the shit that dropped at the top of the year. Like, shit, Gates Guevara had a project that was pretty big. I know Mega fucks with the Dose One shit. I feel like a lot of shit falls out of our consciousness, and I feel like we don't got time to, like, really spin with the music in depth. So I wanted to see how y'all feel about that, because I feel like I find myself, as time goes on, I get a handful of albums and I just run them. Because, like, I'm the type of person, I like to spend a lot of time with the album in different contexts and shit. And I feel like if I'm jumping from release to release, I don't got time to really settle with anything. So that's where I'm at with it. But I want to hear y'all experience with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely changed my listening habits a lot over the past like few years, because I fell out in love with this shit. Like, I'd say 2023 into 2024, I was bored. I was bored with hip hop because I was just, every single thing that came out, I was listening to. I was listening to every single Bodie James drop. I was listening to every single Raz drop, and I loved Raz at the time. But you know, there's so much music was coming out. So many of my friends were dropping. And just it all collides into sort of you not being able to really take in any of it. Like, I would listen to all of this shit, and then I'd have like More Mother would drop an album, and it's super dense and it's super amazing and it's fantastic. But you know, but the next week something else great is coming out, and I'm like, oh, but I want to give attention to this, and I want to shout out this. So I very much felt like I was being pulled in every direction, and I wasn't giving time to anything that I really enjoyed. This year, I've slowed the fuck down. Like, realistically, the only album I would say that I understand in depth this year is the Nakama album, because I spent so much time with that album.
Yeah.
But other than that, I would say I haven't really, I haven't been jumping about as much, but I've definitely like honed in more. You know, like Outstanding Understanding that came out like very early this year. I listened to that quite a bit. Black Antique, I listened to that quite a bit. It's been a lot more of a measured approach than just listen to everything like I did previous years.
For me, by virtue of like what Secret House does is, you know, listen to albums, give them real deep dives. We really put the brakes on this year, and we haven't. I don't think we recorded 20 episodes this year. And I think part of it was getting a little bit burnt out by the fact that there's so much music coming out and trying to keep up with it. It's like, damn, we didn't do that recording a month ago, and there's 7 other albums out. And you know, just being where we're at in the community, a lot of the homies are dropping albums. It's you want to support them, you want to freak that, but then you've got artists who, like a West Side Gun, who dropped 3 albums and shit, and it is really like a wild level of burnout in you know, I kind of was thinking about this conversation a bit different than just the burnout element. It's something to me that is indicative of kind of the way that society functions in this kind of it's a very deeply neoliberal and at this stage capitalism we whittled down. Yeah, I you know, hit your bingo cards and shit. Like we've whittled we really have though. It's like, and it's not it's not just hip hop. It's like we've whittled down attention to like quicker and faster frenetic grasping, that so many things are coming out that you want to be a part of, that you have like an almost fear of missing out. You're like being pulled apart by algorithm and by your interest. It's so much to keep up with, and it's just very difficult to prioritize that. And actually, you know, it happens so fast that sometimes you find like you have less time for how that music actually relates to the world or the labor that comes into it. I find myself listening to like some albums and I'm not like actively listening. I'm kind of just letting it wash over me, and by the time it's done, it's gone, and it's kind of like gone from my head. I might remember a song or two and, you know, see it pop up later, but there's so much music, it's really hard to keep like doing like the secret house thing, or how so many people like what Fick does, where he listens to like 50 albums in a week. It's like well, he does like listen to 50 albums. Like I couldn't possibly do that type of shit. And it's like it's that level of burnout too. It's just like, man, like everything is like we were discussing about the wood shit. It's like if everything is pretty good, but it comes out, it's like, damn, another one. And it's like everything on Backwoods is so good, but it's also just like, fuck, it's exhausting a little bit to really engage and to really try to engage with the art in a serious way, you know, like if you really want to sit down to it and unpackage it and see how it relates to that person's experience and how it relates to the world, it's kind of it's not something you could really do passively and do well. It fucking sucks.
I think a really interesting part of it that you kind of tapped into briefly there was the kind of like the way that this is encouraged by the capitalist hellscape we currently like inhabit, because it's like, you know, folk need money and one album for a lot of folk isn't going to pay the bills for long enough for you to take that time with the next one. You have to be bam, 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 because otherwise where's your money at? Where's your food on the table and shit? So it makes a lot of sense that this is like the model that has pervaded into like all of the underground hip hop shit, with like Garn and Griselda starting it, and then Mac I think that might have been at the same time, like the Dump God shit, and then like now that, and the Chris Crack, and now that's just kind of the thing everyone does, and it makes sense that that's what everyone does, because, you know, because of the previous thing I said, and also a lot of people just make that amount of art, you know. I'm not saying that everyone's doing it.
Look at like Tetsuo puts out an album like every 2 weeks.
He's nuts. He's insane and crazy.
Super prolific. But like even Lil B used to do that shit. And so it's also it's like the poison, but it's also the remedy. It's like the poison is that you oversaturate things, but also these people are kind of making money from it, and also we kind of having constantly something to look at and see, and it's just more immediate. It's just flicking through, watching shorts or TikToks, and a lot of it becomes reduced to something really short in the experience.
Yeah, I think it's like a really interesting like problem to have, like quote unquote problem to have, because like on one part, like part of it is fueled by like a lot of like fast form content that's kind of encouraged just in general, but like for me that's always clashed with like enjoyment of music. And like it like just on some music geek shit, it's always bothered me that niggas just like don't listen to albums, they just like run playlists and singles. That shit always drives me crazy. And I think it's an interesting dichotomy how like on more mainstream level, like these niggas are always whining about like there's nothing to listen to, it's slow this year. And they like our artists on that level have like really sensationalized dropping an album like every so many years and shit. And like they definitely farm that more like content to make it go farther, but less like algorithmically driven. I feel like I start to feel like really guilty about like not getting to like all my peers' work and shit, and like tapping in with it. Because I remember when I was doing the 2022 shit, I was listening to a new album every day, and I found so many dope people doing that shit, and I enjoyed it. But I was particularly jobless at the time. So like I had plenty of time to do that shit. So the next year, I was just like, I tapped into so much shit. I was just burnt out so badly. And I'd listened to barely anything the following year. And I think that's changed my listening habits in a way, because like for a while I'm very intensely like, I want to get all these lyrics. I want to sit down, write the lyrics down, make sure I'm processing it right. But I feel like I've kind of transitioned to like listening to music in like a more out loud format and just letting it wash over me and seeing like what I digest that way.
Yeah, what does stick and what doesn't, instead of like actively trying to make it stick, I guess.
Yeah, but I think it's a really interesting like problem in a way, because like we do got hella great shit to tap into, a lot of great work, but like shit ain't time for it.
Right. I mean, a lot of people who are able to do that stuff, their primary hobby in terms of like media is hip hop shit. Like there's got to be people who like, you know, there's guys like Dash who have made kind of a career off of discussing music, and that's part of their job. But then there's other people who are, you know, just hobbyists. They love hip hop. They try to find every album. They listen to interviews of the artists. They look at, you know, the music interviews of the artists. And if you're a person whose attention is split between multiple forms of media, it becomes more difficult to really engage in that same type of way. It's at a certain point, a lot of artists, for me, it gets to a point where it's just like, I'm sure it's good, but I just don't feel like making the time for it right now. And I do that with some of my favorite. Yeah, I do that for some of my favorite artists. And it's a combination of the type of content that they put out, as well as the amount of content that they put out. And I'm just, you know, I'm a 42-year-old dude with a full-time job and a 9-year-old daughter. And you know what I mean? It's just like, bro, I sometimes want to watch like a Japanese film. I don't want to say, all right, because we want to talk about the new Pink Sifu, I got an hour, let me just listen to it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Like, I love.
Why are you calling me out, bro?
I didn't say specifics, but since you want to bring it up, yeah. No, I love Black Antique, the joint that dropped at the beginning of this year. I listened to it intensely and really enjoyed it, and it perhaps will end up on like on some type of list of mine or some shit. But like the new joint, I'm just like, bro, I love you, Pink Sifu, but I ain't got the time for it. Yeah, I just don't have the time for it right now. I'm busy, you know, watching fucking Pornhub or whatever. It's all that shit. You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, no.
Pornhub is still a thing, right? I don't use that website. I'm just saying. People really think I'm a real nasty nigga like that.
Yeah, you gotta tell me with the youth.
Yeah.
Back in my right now, all that shit,
like
all
the
that
freak
shit
offs
has fallen off, because all that shit they got like locks on all that shit now, because they locking up the internet, bro.
Oh yeah,
So
the UK's putting this thing. You gotta put your ID into anything with. Like Twitter's trying to confirm my age so I can see a tweet that says the word sex in it.
Nigga, no. I'm not giving Elon my ID.
They already got your ID, nigga. They got your ID.
No, they don't. No, they
don't. I mean,
they watching this shit live stream right now.
If they already have it, why are you asking them, man? Just do your shit and don't involve me in it. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be selling my information, just do that shit, man. I don't want to be involved.
I mean, the economy is the economy is propped up by companies whose main export is fucking data and information. So, you know, you got to dance like the NSA ain't watching. You just got to not worry about them wondering what type of porn shit you doing. You know what I mean? Like, if the CIA gonna murk you, they're gonna do it anyways. They don't need to release. They ain't gonna pull some Martin Luther King shit and be like, you know, he's sleeping with other women. Yeah, nah, it don't matter no more. Shit.
I don't know. Yeah, they might MLK me.
They gonna get Elon Musk.
They're coming for them tweets, nigga. They coming for them tweets. They're like, yeah, he's a problem. He's rallying. He's rabble rousing the Negroes in Black Twitter. Just gonna have to take this nigga out of here.
Hey, wait. Back on top.
Okay. Yeah. No, but this is.
No, go on.
Go ahead. No, I mean it's like the every single thing that we interact with online and the exposure to it, and it's people are like the social conditions are creating these cultures of immediacy, and we live in a world where it's a flattening. We're trying to make things as quick as possible, and your access to them must be as quick as possible. And so because of that, we often are trying to touch everything as quickly as possible. The overexposure of these things is kind of irrelevant to the labor. The fact of the matter is that everything is funneling you towards this immediacy. Fucking just there's a really good book that I read last year, and I think even Dano picked it up. It's called Immediacy, The Style of Too Late Capitalism by Anna Kornblum. And she really discusses how the world is functioning like this, how government functions like this. And this aspect that we're talking about in regards to just music is something that's not even really overstated in the book, because there's so many other elements about it. But people are making 2-minute tracks. People are making songs in order for you, like, it starts with the hook. Like, everybody is trying to get your attention as much as possible. In this attention economy, it like, even if you don't think that you're actively participating in it and it is your kind of creative output, it's also something that is done because your interactions with society is making you think that this is like a natural thing to do in a way that things must be. And you know, again, like Boldy, like West Side Gun and shit, all these albums are just basically like pretty good. If you were to take those 3 albums that he dropped this year and put together a 10-track album from those 3 albums, you probably have like a more solid album. But that doesn't matter, because now we can pick and choose just a single song. And especially with these streaming services, I find it different. If you put snaps down, if you put money down on an album, you tend to spend more time with it. You tend to try to see how your work went into this relationship and how you might appreciate it more. If you just get, like, when I get an album on stream, I'm just like, word. I mean, it might as well be a background music while I'm at the library, or background music at the gym. I got it. It was all right. I didn't notice anything. Keep it moving. And unfortunately, not all of the artists that we love and appreciate are creating work that is like high art, so to speak, and it doesn't necessarily need to be viewed and have a relationship like that. You can have a lot of throwaway shit, and that's why I think niggas be on these playlists. It's like, I need something to vibe with right now. I'm a vibe with this. This is my vibe. I use this as an accent to help my day move forward because I'm so fucking busy. And when I don't need that accent, I'm just doing something else fast. I need to see a Twitter joke. I need to see a YouTube video. I need to hear something that relates to me and feel that immediacy and do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just how this shit works. I need to see a Twitter joke. Thank God. Thank God. What did you call it, Trey? Right now. What did you call it the other night, Kosey? A twote? A twote. I need a twote.
I'm not the poster boy on Twitter. I don't condone this.
I'm not putting you there. Everything I say, Trey be like, that's a shot fired at me, nigga. I know what you're trying to do here. I know it's because every time I sign on and sign off at Discord, I'll be like, I hate Trey. It's my fault.
Yeah. It's fine. No, that's fine. No, and I think a really interesting, like, it's sort of, the culture obviously is grown this way, which makes sense because of, the social conditions that previously mentioned. But it's also like, it's kind of like, it's like a self-eating culture where it just, like, obviously
Ouroboros.
Yeah, Ouroboros. That's the word I was looking for. I completely forgot. Or like the way that, like, songs started getting shorter because they needed to get on the radio and and immediately catch attention. And then we move to streaming, and it's it's so easy to skip something and just move away from it. So
we got TikTok on Spotify now, nigga.
Yeah,
TikTok with songs on Spotify.
Yeah, you can scroll through Spotify like this now, and it's like in order for any of that to work and for you to succeed in that, you needed to change your style. And then that changed style that was kind of trying to make the best out of a shit situation has inspired genuine, like, art to take the form of the, like, shitty, like rapidly produced, like, lowest common denominator that will make the most amount of money is now the formula for everyone.
Right.
It's interesting how like people who I would consider incredible artists like seeing how even their structure and like approaches have changed over time. Like we recently talked about the Cavalier album, Cavalier song, Blind Seer, and that album generally, Chief. That all of the songs on the album are longer than all of the songs on Different Type of Time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's that is, I wouldn't say that's anything to do with Cavalier having less to say or being a worse rapper. He's only gotten better. He's only gotten better and only had more to say. But because of the current trends that are just around, you know, not even saying he's like following trends, just because of the current trends in music and the way music is being produced and being made, you see the songs slowly shorten down. Or if they're going to be longer, they have to have a crazy beat switch in the middle. You know what I mean? They can't, like, it's really interesting watching how things have just shifted and changed and moved. And the third verse is dead, you know? And I'm not like, this is the worst thing ever, but it's just, it's interesting to me.
I'm bringing it back. Don't worry.
Oh, you're bringing it back to being the worst thing ever?
No.
He about to change up the album and just tack on another verse to each song he done sent to us.
I'm bringing third verses back. Trust.
Yeah.
You just go.
Hey, if I could talk a little shit, I've heard some of the new TreDoes music, both Kosey and I, and y'all gonna be enjoying that shit. That shit's fire. And I ain't gonna glaze your punk ass. I like it though. It's cooling. It's cooling. But I agree with you, Kosey. It's not necessarily that there's a drop off in quality or anything. Like a lot of even the most immediate art is still legitimate and aesthetically dope and epistemologically meaningful. But some of it is just also a part of it is also like a slurry that is produced by these crushing conditions, and we're all trying to navigate our relationship with art well, not all of us, but some of us are trying to navigate our relationship with art in a meaningful way, and it's very difficult when you have like fear of missing out. You know, when you're in a community like ours, who people are really interested and love this culture and talk about it all the time, it's hard to be like, oh yeah, I heard that was good, but no, I didn't listen to it. Like you should, you need to, you have to. It's just like, well, there's a 4-part Puff Daddy documentary that I have to watch, guy. You know, but it's one of those things, like, you know, it really reifies itself, and just because like I'm trying to diagnose the illness doesn't mean that I don't suffer from the sickness too. You know what I mean? Like I'm still jumping around and not paying attention to content and like that fast content, and like the fact that I can watch anything I want when I want. I can hear anything I want when I want. Like it's kind of, that attention economy shit is fucking rough, man. Like I think buy some shit and you might feel a little bit different about it. So
also shit can feel very like in the grand scheme. Like I know I hate on niggas who listen to playlists and shit, but also like to some extent, like just working and shit, and like how much like of our time is like just consumed by work. Like it feels silly sometimes to like recommend somebody, hey, check out this 1.5 hour album. Like, nigga, win.
Yeah, bro. It's like, yo, I'm trying to chill, and you want me to listen to a 2-hour Cities of Eve album? I don't even know this nigga.
I might not even like this shit. I don't know this shit. I'm not guaranteed to like it, and then I just wasted my only free time.
I think that's a really interesting part of it. The idea of like wasting time, like the idea of like approaching art and it not enjoying it, then being a waste, I think is a really interesting thing you just brought up, Trey. Like I'm not saying Trey hates art. But
that's what I was saying. That's what I'm thinking.
I hate art, bro.
Yeah, but it's really interesting, like the way that we currently interact with music and with art and with the shows we watch and with just everything, like not even like distilling it to a hip-hop culture sense. Every single moment has to be something of enjoyment, you know, the idea of enjoyment and your own personal like, what's the word I'm looking for? Enjoyment wasn't good enough. Your own personal enjoyment being the goal, as if there's nothing else you could possibly attain from an experience of an album you dislike or a movie you didn't like that much or something that was just a little bit mid. Like, I think in this current attention economy, it's interesting that the idea of like something getting your attention and not paying off your hard-earned attention that you've given it is a negative, you know, because there's so many things I've listened to and I've not necessarily gotten much out of, but I also question whether me not getting anything out of it is a failure on the art's part or anything like that. Because if you're consuming so much, and I only want and as a result of me consuming so much, I only want things to satisfy my enjoyment, maybe my ability to properly take in what art is trying to give to me is distilled and squashed because of that.
Right.
Yeah. Whenever I like listen to some shit that I don't like, at the very least, I'm like, I heard it, and I can discuss this with somebody else, and we can share this experience of what we did or didn't.
Tweet about it. Tweet about it.
Yeah,
You're old Druga bitch ass nigga. Oh, what?
But yeah, bro, I feel like we just like trying to get as much dopamine in a short period of time as possible. Right. And like we shrink it down into like genres and subsections and shit, so we get the most out of it.
It's interesting, you know, that we're in such a period now where these things are so much part of our culture that it's almost like we forgot about how art was accessed and how art was kind of disseminated and critiqued in the past. There was a time where art was presented to us with a space between us and the art, and we could kind of actively negotiate our distance from it. Like, you go to the museum and you see something, it's like, what is that? Is that supposed to be good? You look at the plaque, it kind of brings you forward to it. And we could negotiate that meaning subjectively and relate to the thing. But now a lot of the art that we get, it's so immediate that there's less space and less distance from us to kind of relate to that thing and see it for what it's supposed to be. We kind of just very quickly are able to shuffle it off and keep it moving and spiral on to the next thing. A lot of the things that are probably deep and beautiful and meaningful in some of the art and the work that we get are being so devalued by the fact that we're in such an omnifaucet of media and content. Nowadays, it's just like if you're scrolling through something, it's like when you used to see like a really dope drawing or a really dope piece of art, it's like, yo, this guy Beeple, he really sat down and how did he make that? You know, it's like, it looks computer generated. He must have spent time to do that. Now it's to the point where it's just like, oh, I've seen so much AI. I've seen so much this. I've seen so much that. I've seen this before. I've seen somebody draw. I've seen somebody do this. And it makes it so it's happening so fast and it's so immediate that you don't really have time to understand your subjective part of the music. And I don't care who you are. There is absolutely no way that a person can listen to the Billy Woods album release on a Friday and have an informed opinion about it on a Sunday. It's like the art is not supposed to be something like, maybe it is. Maybe their analytical instrument is so tremendous and wonderful that they can do that. But for me, that's kind of symptomatic of the fact that people are just constantly trying to find meaning in things without actually like not necessarily sitting with them. We make snap judgments and we keep it moving and we make our opinions, and regardless of how deep they are, we just to the next. I have to get to the next. And I'm not gonna lie, it's exhausting, and it's also a form of labor. That's why a lot of this shit is kind of free. You know what I mean? A lot of this shit is free because you're doing the labor. You're the one doing it. And your time is something that is meaningful. And if you we're tricked into thinking that all of our time has to mean something. I can't just sit down and think. I have to watch a video. I have to see my friend. I have to talk to my mom. I have to, there's a new trailer coming out. Somebody talked about an Easter egg in a fucking Marvel movie or some shit. Like, like 20 things you might have missed in, TreDoes Pornhub Wrapped, like it's all that type of shit. Like, and it's like, wow, I gotta watch a video about a person talking about a topic that I heard about that I don't really care about, but I know I'm supposed to care about, and I better watch it so I can talk about that with another person who's going to talk about it, so they could tell me they watched some other shit that they talked about. It is like, come on, man.
Yeah, like you need to watch a 2-hour dinosaur video, man. You got,
bro. Yeah, you don't know the freedom of actually not having to watch dinosaur videos. I saw that and I was like, I need to brush up my game on these ankylosauruses, bro. Like I'm really kind of slipping. I haven't watched anything on dinosaurs in a whole minute, and it's been like 5 Jurassic Park. I missed 5 Jurassic Park films. I need to get on that.
I mean, it's crazy. The dinosaurs escape the park and shit. Like I don't know. Apparently, it's Jurassic World now, man. It's not even Jurassic Park. It's serious, bro. You gotta watch out for these man on the street now.
I'm waiting for I'm waiting for some shit. I'll watch a review of it and not watch the movie and form my opinion.
Yeah, bro. Things are moving entirely too fast, and it's hard to keep up with.
Can I ask y'all a question? Before segue Trey? One question: Who isn't? Trey had to disappear on me and shit. He was like, "This nigga just he went the way of the dinosaurs and shit."
He called me out.
Who is an artist that you really appreciate but can't bring your ass to fucking listen to anymore? Ooh, Boldy James, is it all Boldy for us? I have not listened to Boldy in like 2 years, yo.
I don't want to, because it feels like such an obvious answer, but like it might have to be Boldy, bro.
And I'm still like, I might be the only person,
which is crazy because he made some of my favorite music in like the 2020s.
He's great.
Bro.
Yeah, he's an amazing rapper. He's an amazing rapper. But I mean, for me, it's interesting because I still listen to like every The God Fahim album that comes out. I don't even love that nigga's music like that. I have a friend who loves the God Fahim. Every single time one comes out, we'd be like, "Oh my god, track 2 is good, just good."
You're like, is that the one that starts with your favorite rapper is a homosexual? Is that one? Because that's a jam.
That track is fire.
No,
bro.
that track is actually really good, and I'm pissed off that like I want to repeat it, but I gotta listen to that bullshit first.
Like a 40-minute.
Wait, that's an actual opening bar.
Yes, on the God Fahim joint.
It's like a skit beforehand. There's like a 40-second skit of this guy being like, "Now your favorite rapper's wearing a dress." And then the best beat you've ever heard comes in. Fahim is rapping his ass off.
It's like Papa Wu or some nigga that be hanging around with, I don't know, the black Israelites or some shit. It really is really terrible, but it's a great, wonderful. Yeah, that beat is so good.
It's brilliant. It's so good.
But God Fahim makes too much music, bro.
Makes too much music. Most of it isn't good at all. Most of it isn't worth talking about. However, I have a friend, and every single time a God Fahim album comes out, even the Nicholas Craven ones, and I don't even like Nicholas Craven, every single time one of those comes out, it's become like a it's become like a habitual like community thing where me and him will listen to it and we'll be like, the best song on this is this one. If he took this song and this song and this song from all of these albums, he would have made one good album of the whole year of his like 22 hyperbolic time rhyme chambers or whatever. Like,
hyperbolic rhyme time chamber.
No, hyperbolic time chamber raps. Not even like a clever name. It's just
see, that's that anime shit I be telling y'all about, man. Like, calm down, man.
All of the covers are drawings of Dragon Ball as well. It's actually kind of fire. I can't lie to you. I'm gonna send you one of the covers, Mega. You can fuck with it. It's sick.
Okay.
It's sick.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I don't have time for this. I'm busy watching Jurassic Park, nigga. I gotta watch Jurassic Galaxy after this. I don't got no time for this. But yeah, I'm sure it's fire.
Space is crazy. Dinosaurs in space, that's outrageous, nigga.
Yeah, I dinosaurs in space is hard. They need to make that with black people only, though. I love seeing a black Dragon Ball character. I remember the first time I seen a black Dragon Ball character, I was like, hell yeah.
Oob? Shout out Oob.
No, yeah.
Mr. Popo.
Ubu, yeah.
All right, bro. Nah, we only rep Oob, bro.
Yeah, Oob got
Broly is Dominican. Broly is Dominican.
Nah, bro, he Puerto Rican, man. He got fucking anger issues and shit. I know enough Puerto Ricans to know a motherfucking Puerto Rican when I see one and shit. Hell yeah, them niggas. And he pretty and shit too. Yeah, he Puerto Rican, bro. Yeah. One of my best friends Puerto Rican. He a big problem and shit. He real Broly.
Yeah. A big problem is an amazing way to describe someone you're saying is your best friend.
Bro, he was. Him and his family, I think I told y'all, like, his little brother, who's a year younger than us in school, stabbed somebody 37 times, left him to die in the forest and shit. Went to prison, came back out, Nation of Islam. Talking about your favorite rapper being a homosexual. It was real tough on the streets.
Happens.
That's real hip-hop.
That's what I meant. Yeah, I mean, real hip hop. Stabbed somebody 37. It was a white man too. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this nigga. My bad.
Shit. I'll take
Shout out
it
to
back,
racism. I'm down with it.
Yeah, that's not real.
I'm taking it back. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing racism back to the black community. I'm bringing it back.
I don't think they need you to do that, bro. Niggas tweaking over Kamala. Muslims didn't vote hard enough for Kamala.
Oh yeah, problem.
Anywho,
that queen.
For all our for all our issues with the attention economy and the speed at which things move, as Jimmy Smith said on one of Drake's only good albums years ago, real music is gonna last. All that other bullshit is here today and gone tomorrow. And one of those great pieces of music that have lasted is Open Mike Eagle. Straight from another triumph of ghetto engineering. So Cole wanted to reflect on one of the tracks, one of the standout tracks in that project. Give us some thoughts. Did indeed. So take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I this has been my favorite Open Mike Eagle song for a while. And like I've been a fan of Open Mike Eagle for how long now? Damn, nigga, I'm old.
2010. Oh, that's me.
Shut up, man. No, get out of here, bro. You old as fuck. See, I'm old. That's outrageous. I've been a fan of like Eagle since I was in high school. So like 28. Yeah, like just before Brick Body Kids Still Daydream came out, I think I got hit. Like he's been one of my favorites and someone who has consistently like completely changed my perception of what rap can be for his entire career. He's just continuously challenged what like the status quo of it is, and it's super interesting that through him doing this, he's just been here the whole time with all of the people we love. He's still his entire career has spanned the entirety of this culture that we constantly talk about, and has anyone other than Open Mike Eagle distilled all of those experiences into one song where he says we should have hollowed Otherground. We should have made this community that is very clearly formed and here into an official thing. Has anyone else done that? I think it's just brilliant that Open Mike Eagle has the songwriting chops to make something this huge into such a short song. You know, he's such a talented storyteller, songwriter, rapper. He's the best. He's just the best. What do you guys think of this song?
I love it. You know, like I was saying, like I've been a fan of Mike. I heard about him kind of right before I met him. I met him at South by in maybe 2009 or 2010 at an Anticon show that didn't have any Anticon rappers. It was like Sun Lux and him and No Can Do came through, and I met Open Mike Eagle that night, and I copped Roadside Attraction EP, I think, from him that night, and I've been a fan ever since. I think he's had one of the greatest careers and the greatest possible outcome that could happen for an independent artist, and I think that he's really earned it. I think he's super talented and just charismatic and one of the best. And what he's doing now with the kind of YouTube space, he was one of the first podcasters that I listened to that was a hip hop podcaster. He's just an amazing interviewer, an amazing dude. And this song kind of highlights, you know, his trajectory. He, you know, most of the people mentioned on this, like, yeah, it's all people that I'm familiar with, and it's all people that I have also been along for the ride and listened to and appreciated. There's nobody really on this that he mentions here that I don't know and fuck with intimacy, except for maybe MC Front a lot, because I just didn't care for their music. But man, it's like everybody on this shit is folks. You know, like, yeah, not folks like homies, but like people that I really fuck with. And you know, there's some cats that are mentioned on this who I think that should get more recognition and more props, who are, you know, incredible. Like, you know, Chesky and NASA is mentioned on, like, it's a really wonderful track that it's kind of like one of those like intro shout outs. Like, it's kind of like the cover of like you know, People's Instinctive Travels has got everybody's face on it and shit. Like, this is everybody. This is the folks. This is the people. And he kicks it off in his very kind of I don't want to say typical. That sounds a little bit like
zero and zero like make zero.
Yeah, he just does it in his style of just like candid first person shit. It's fucking great. Yeah, it's great.
yeah, this track. Like, I remember. You good?
I mean, he mentions Paul Barman on this shit, and as far as I know, like, there's not a lot of cats in the underground scene, especially black cats, in the same space as Open Mike Eagle, who give shouts to Paul Barman. But he's been rocking with Paul Barman for a long time. I think Paul Barman was on, maybe it was Dark Comedy. Like, Paul Barman's been on his work; they done shit together, and I love Paul Barman. Unironically, I'm a fan of Paul Barman. Like,
you know how crazy it is. You gotta say unironically before saying you like an artist. That's
well, you know, like this is before your time, but people used to make fun of him for being hella Jewish. If you listen to the Blockhead shit, Party Fun Action Committee, crazy. There's a song on there that is very specifically, like, it seems like intentionally to be dissing MC Paul Barman, and you know that was the thing that he dealt with. It's like he was just a super Jewish white guy who was just being super Jewish white and rapping tight. And you know, Open Mike Eagle doesn't pull any punches. He talks about Rap Ferrer on this as his brother, and he talks about Driver on this shit as, like, on this album at least, maybe not this track, as his brother. And those people are people that. They're like, those are people who are kind of radioactive when this album came out. They're kind of people who have been demonized by, you know, the Me Too movement and a lot of things, and he doesn't shy away from that, even as a person who tends to have a politics, like a liberal woke politics on the right side of history with that shit, and he still shouts out his people. I love Open Mike Eagle. Ain't nobody can tell me shit about how dope he is.
I think this was before the Rap Ferreira stuff, though.
No, Rap Ferreira got fucking called out, like,
I mean,
years before
that. This is for a while.
With the bus driver shit.
This was before. This was before the big blow up.
This is before the shit with his baby mother that happened the year later, I think, last year. Because this came out in 2023. But he, you know, him, Kool AD, Bus Driver, they had all that shit come around. POS, and a lot of those fools got the early Me Too. Are you yawning at the topic or just yawning because you was up all night, man? Come on. No, don't do that. Hold on. I got you.
Bro, I told you I was tired before this, bro. I wasn't.
How dare you?
Okay. Well, at least put the disclaimer on. That was the most disrespectful thing he's ever done to me. Yeah, no. But you know, they're kind of radioactive, and you know, it's just like I really like. While I don't watch his show or anything like that, I really value Open Mike Eagle in this space, and I think he's one of the goats. I think he's one of the goats, and that list is long, but it's not too long. Like, he edges out a lot of people. He edges out a lot of people that he mentions on this list as in that category. But yeah, man, I love it.
Okay, I've been playing this project. I've been playing the project in the background, and the WFDLLD 32 track. I don't know why, but there's like a part in that song that sounds like someone's like fucking screaming like they're getting murdered, and I thought that shit was happening outside my door, and it keeps freaking me out.
My man got trauma. This
shit is weird. I'm like, nigga, where is that coming from?
I just looked around. I was like, "What are you looking at?"
Yeah, I'm like, "What is that?"
You heard a balloon popped and jumped under the desk and shit. Damn. Now this shit's great though, man. Like, he shouts out PACE on this. You know, Peace was mad at me because he wasn't in my MySpace top 8. Nigga, come on. He talk about arguing with AC Alone, arguments with Abstract Rude, LA Cool. You know, those are OGs. Those are his OGs and people that I love. And it's just
quick question, yeah. LA Cool, that's just his name, right? Because that sounds like, okay, so that's not like a pun on LL Cool J. That's just his name. Okay, what?
Cool. He changed it. Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw that being like, damn, that guy's name is just LL Cool J without the J. Like I was.
No, it's like L.A.
Cool.
Yeah. LA Cool.
Okay, that makes sense.
But he used to be, if I'm correct, Spoon Iodine. Yeah.
No, I have no idea. Yeah, but
he's a legend.
Yeah, for sure. He's on that that Blue album we discussed earlier this year as well.
Right. And he also had beef. He got into a Twitter beef with Talib Kweli. And Kweli was like, "Yo, this nigga talking shit." He messaged Micah 9, and Micah 9 was like, "Yeah, I'm with this nigga right now." Of course, that's LA Cool. How did you not know who LA Cool was, Talib Kweli? I thought you was ahead.
Is that how Micah 9 talks?
Nigga. Yeah.
Micah 9 sound like Michael Jackson, bro.
Yeah. There's so many people mentioned on this. Is so dope. Chesky, man, fucking shout out to Chesky. Fake 4 music, like
my favorite line is when he's like, "I thought Philly was full of assholes until I met Hozilla and Casher." I just love that line.
So sick. I mean, my favorite line on this has been doing shows with Quelle since it was Christopher. That shit is so sick. I don't think it was ever Christopher. I don't even like. It's a brilliant bar. But generally, I love how like personal as the like trajectory of this song is, and it does something that I really like from Open Mike Eagle is like Open Mike Eagle is really good at giving just enough information for you to what's the word, for you to like pass what's going on, but not for you to have the entire picture in like a cohesive, amazing way. And I think it's brilliant because he'll consistently like deny you the whole story. You know what I mean? Like what that one line on this when he says like, and if you know, seeing Chloe in the afternoon. Who the fuck? I have no idea what he know. I have no idea. I don't know. If you know, I don't. You know what I mean? Like that being there is just something that I love about Off My Giggle. He's got a consistent effort to kind of keep his audience at that distance, while also bringing them into his world in such a complete way. You have this picture of all of these people he's been meeting since what, like 2000, and then he also is just like, wait, but this part is just for me. And it's something I've heard him say a lot on his YouTube and in his podcast, is be like, he on all of his albums, he has that one song or that one moment where he's like, I made this one just because I wanted to make it, and I don't want to entirely put too much thought into the like listener reaction to it. And I think he consistently has put those moments within his art being, and the seeing Chloe in the afternoon, if you know, is just a brilliant example of that on here.
Yeah.
I
don't know Chloe.
I have no idea.
It's a really dope like crystallization of like just like Mike's journey and like trajectory as an artist until now, like from being like super OG to making a term like art rap, and like how that shit's colored the entire scene. I think it's like, especially as someone like me, a younger person who's like got into the scene and got familiarized myself with these artists, it just like it kind of provides like a through line to where like, yeah, bro, this is similar to how like almost how like we connect as a community, and we got other folks in our community, and it like it kind of relates it in that way, and I really fuck with it from that perspective. And it's some shit only he could do, because like just with the delivery, he like Open Mike Eagle like kind of like feels like dad rap in a way, but like not in an insulting way, but it's like I know some shit. And like it has that.
I'm gonna get wise on you, nigga.
It has that hint of nostalgia.
It's grown as fuck.
Where you like
grown as fuck.
Yeah,
and measured,
your
experience, and wise.
He presses it all into the music.
Yeah, the kind of like nostalgic tone of this is like super prevalent, and I even thinking like that's super aided by like Child Actor's beat on here, because his production for me is like consistently in a space where it's like nearly recognizable. It like everything sounds like a thing that I've heard before, but in a completely unrecognizable like approach and outcome. The textures are super alien while also feeling really familiar, and I think that's such a brilliant like showcase of a nostalgic approach, I guess. It's brilliant, fantastic. And then even with like the way the song, like the like narrative arc of the song, like how it starts off so like peaceful and like looking back on the old times with nothing but reverence and love, and then it just slowly has to shift into remembering the reasons why we don't hold our other ground anymore, remembering the reasons why that community to an extent fell apart, and like there's still all those connections, and I know all these people, and I know most of these people from hearing them on Open Mike Eagle songs or hearing him on theirs, but there's still had to have been that what am I trying to say? That tension was still created and still built, and Open Mike Eagle goes over that, and he's kind of mournful of the community that he feels like he's lost, that they never fully concreted into a solid base. And I just think it's brilliantly done.
I like the idea of Otherground, and this is not the first time that Mike was thinking about like the art rap shit, and also on this, like NASA's on this. NASA gets a shout out on
like
this.
Uncommon NASA, right? Is that who that is?
Uncommon NASA, yeah.
Okay.
NASA gets a shot on this, and in the early 2000s, NASA was trying to push another term to kind of describe the community. A lot of people in the same community, I think he was calling it like prog rap, like progressive rap, and people have always like. There's been a lot of people who've tried to create some type of other term to separate. To make, not separate, but like make a distinction and kind of group people together under some type of thing that was not just for selling in a record store, you know, like not just a genre, but you know, like, man, like a lot of these cats, most of these cats are still rocking. You know, Factor, Chandelier, like all of these cats are pretty much still rocking. I think Psalm 1 just dropped the shit last year. Like, you know, all of these cats are pretty much still rocking here. AM Breakups, like, yeah, you know, this is a really good snapshot of the time. And Otherground is a cool name, but I would have probably never really used it. I have always made the distinction that underground hip hop was this. And underground hip hop, that shit happened 30 years ago. That shit been dead. Really, like, it's really different. It's really different now. Like, but I always just make the distinction like independent underground. This is what I mean. I don't mean some gangster rapper who's still selling tapes out of their trunk or whatever, trying to get on or whatever. Like independent underground to me was the split that happened in the late 90s after the Telecommunications Act, where a lot of these regional guys who are really lionizing the four elements and coming from this kind of radical tradition of art, black radical tradition in politics, decided that the music industry was whack and they thought maybe perhaps they could make something of it. And we're so far beyond that now that going back and looking at this, what I see is kind of just like a who's who of his career and people that he's touched along the path who have been great within this subtle distinction that was never really punctuated. Like most of these cats, like some of these cats, for example, like MC Frontalot and Samus, they're firmly in the nerdcore subgenre of hip hop shit. You know what I mean? Like that's not, those guys are not necessarily doing the same things as Mike or doing the same things as LA Cool or, you know, Brother Ali. It's just but it is a cool kind of highlighting of his personal trajectory and the people that he's touched along the way. It's really it's really nice. It's really nice and beautiful. You know, Mike's been putting it down for a long time, even, you know, before he moved to Cali, before he got noticed, before all that shit. And yeah, I was quite like, I haven't listened to a Factor Chandelier album, a Graham Factor shit in a long time, but I'm sure they're still dope. So yeah, this is what I thought about it. Yeah, it's great. I'm glad you picked this. It's fun for me.
I do think it's interesting, like kind of like the function of it is like a label more so, because how Mega did like kind of hint at how like underground now, if like at one point underground was associated with like the shit we're familiar with, but it like it feels
before
like
backpack. Before backpack rap,
it feels more like a catch-all these days. Like there's underground niggas who sound like Cardi and shit, sound like the biggest rappers in the world right now. So like shit, maybe other ground could be worthwhile. I mean, like I don't care about labels and shit. I don't really care that much.
Yeah,
but like I think it's an interesting distinction.
I think the interesting part of it is kind of to what Mega said, is like so many of these genre labels and names are created as a means to sell something easier. And I do find it interesting, like in the context of Otherground and the way Alpha Mikey uses it here and the way it's appeared in songs previously, it does feel more like we are just trying to create and solidify a community right now. So we need a name so we can just all sit in the same mission here, you know? Yeah. So it's like you have all of these things where it's like the team was swimming, we dropped 2 logs in the deep end. It's like we had the team doing this thing, but our lack of organizing just has kind of caused it to crumble. And then me and LA Cool are arguing, and me and Peace is mad, and all of this happening. And we used to holler Otherground, but because of our lack of like controlling that
Vision.
A unified vision. Yeah. See, I see you, Trey. Thank you very much. Because of our lack of controlling it as a unified vision, it crumbled, and now these people are still cool. But I bet Open Mike Eagle he's saying these things with the idea that I wish I was more cool with these folks. I wish that I wish I could still just reach out to these men and like end up in a conversation with them. I'm walking down the street and seeing these people,
Well, I mean, I imagine he's still cool with like the swim team and shit,
Yeah. There's a lot of folk going on.
I think another thing about it too, and something that I've kind of dealt with in my life, even when I was making music or when I, just tell people like, what do you do? What do you do? Common person? Are you mega? I get a little embarrassed when I have to tell a layman that I'm involved in hip hop culture some way, because most people, when they think about hip hop culture, it is not towards this. It's like you tell even if you just tell a random black folks, I fucking, I make hip hop music. They're like, what kind of sound you make? If you tell them you make this type of shit, it's like, damn. And there's a lot of people who wanted to separate themselves from the values that are espoused, the antisocial narratives and the kind of like opulence and nasty elements, rotten elements of mainstream hip hop. And so to make I constantly make like, no, I listen to independent underground, avant-garde, experimental, like I try to do that. And so like one of the cool things about
that with is crazy. Sorry, go on.
One of the things is just like, one of the things is just like Otherground sounds dope. It's like, what do you listen to? I'll listen to Otherground hip hop. It's one of the best names that I've heard for it.
If you know, better than
prog hip hop. That sounds a little bit too pretentious.
I make art rap.
I think that art rap sounds very pretentious.
I make backpack rap.
Defrag sounds the jury's still out on that. But I think that's what people are trying to, there's kind of this like, we want to make a subtle distinction, but we don't want to make the distinction towards a genre specific form of marketing, it's like, this is just good. These are all Otherground guys who make everybody on this list that he's talking about. Well, the vast majority of them make very, very different music from each other. Very different music from each other. And that's great. That's part of other, that's the other, like even though this is all over the place and some of them find love for Doom, who is very much more famous than most of the people on this track, there's still this special cohesion that perhaps has more to do with the ethics and the value of the art and the creation of it and the community of it beyond the actual sonic qualities of it that make it a genre. So I like the name Otherground. When I hadn't heard it before, I hadn't heard him use it before this album. Maybe I wasn't tapped in because too much shit. But yeah,
Rap Ferreira has a song on one of his early joints called Otherground Pizza Party or some shit. Yeah, the Otherground Pizza Party with Open Mike Eagle on it. On his like the Things That Happen at Night project. And that's like what, like 2012?
2012,
so yeah, like something
like that.
Which album? I'm sorry.
The things that happen at day, things that happen at night. The Milo joint.
Okay.
Or Rory. Sorry, I forget. You just hold me in it. You ain't be saying his artist name.
Under the former Milo.
I call him Rap Ferreira, but sometimes Rory for a shorthand.
Okay, well,
but that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Like this is really like as much as it. I think that is actually a part of it as well. Like they didn't make it official, so you didn't hear much about it. You know what I mean? It came up occasionally, and it was a little bit of a thing that we'd sometimes poke at, but we didn't go hard enough on it. We didn't.
It's often met with vitriol too, like nigga, calm down. Like we don't need another name.
Like
a lot of cats is just like even when I be like independent, underground, abstract, experimental, blah blah blah. It's just like nah,
it's
nigga,
just
it's
rap
hip-hop.
music.
It's fucking hip hop. It's like it's hip hop shit. It's like I remember like Anticon guys, they try to do music for the advancement of hip hop, and that was kind of like them being like, we're gonna make weird shit, and everybody was like, y'all, fuck y'all white niggas, man, y'all really just what are you? It's not good.
White people talking about
what's wrong with hip hop?
White people talking about it, advancing hip hop, kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, some white people have kind of earned they've earned the strokes for it more than any of us have. A lot of them.
I
mean, I don't think hip hop. I didn't know one of the 4 elements of hip hop was saying nigga and shit. Like white people have been around since the beginning too, man. It was poor people in New York that vastly disconnected from us.
Shit on the white people on earth.
No, I mean, I think
I'm not trying to bail them out. I'm just saying, like, it's met with vitriol. It's met with vitriol. Whoever does it.
And I do think that's interesting. I mean, this is very much a sidetrack, but you know, I've been trying to get into philosophy recently, so I'm trying to bring it into every conversation I have. The kind of like the idea of like all of that for the forward movement of hip hop, and all of your art being a vessel for evolution of the art is like a very like modernist approach to art, from what I've been reading. And that was like that joke I made the other day when I said the hip hop Adorno is like, that's kind of what I was poking towards, is the idea of kind of how I push against the idea of all art needing to be this like forward thinking. We're taking what was and we're pushing it forward, and what was previous, it isn't. I'm not saying that they're saying what was previous is like primitive by comparison, but I think it is interesting to be like, we're pushing this forward, and it's very postmodern. To me, the idea of needing to push it forward is something I find like super, like it's super difficult for me to pass whether that is the answer or not, I suppose.
Sure. I'm with you, and it is a very postmodern thing. And in one of my, sorry to cut you off, Trey. In one of my reviews of Open Mike Eagle, I say Open Mike Eagle is one of the kind of more easily to diagnose postmodern artists in hip hop. And so I mean, I'm tracking with you. I track with that right there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's very postmodern to me.
I think it's interesting thinking of like a label and like more of a sense of like community and like community values in a sense, because I feel like a lot of people in our circle like came up rapping around like similar time, like pandemic type time. And it was way more like congealed into this one thing, but like it started splitting off over time for various reasons, ideological reasons or whatever. But I feel like trying to just like distill the current creative moment into something more cohesive, and I guess there's attempts at that with like defrag rap and things of the sort. But I just the process of trying to nail that down. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to.
Yeah, we should have called it. We should have called it Discord rap.
Yeah, and the shit was called. That shit was rap Twitter at a point. It was like hip hop Twitter. Yeah, there was rap. There was Twitter. Yeah, they clicked up.
And it's cool. Interesting. Like I did actually like briefly think like if we me and Trey, like us three, if we made this song right now, it would just be I met this nigga on Twitter, then I met this nigga on Discord, then I met this nigga.
Y'all know I'll really be outside, and I've been outside for like 25 years and shit, right, nigga?
We know
okay, if me and Trey made this shit, then never mind. But you know what I'm saying? Shit. Like I just think that's mad funny. Like the way that the community building and approach has changed.
So different.
Yeah, it's completely different. The way you create a community, the way you create a quote unquote scene now is an entirely different beast. And I do think, in the sense of like, if you're creating a name for community creation, then that has to be created by that community. You know, you can't just have like,
you can't force it.
Yeah, we can't have something like imposed on us, and then it's like, oh, this is the answer to all of our hip hop problems. And I do think, not to get too big on the defrag thing, because I want to have an actual topic of that when I'm more prepared to talk about it, because I have a lot of thoughts that are very uncollected. But I do find like the not outsider approach, but kind of taking all of these people who like a thing and placing them in this one collective thing, when a lot of them niggas like a certain. What are you doing?
This is mail from
nigga,
from Caltro.
Oh, is that address all on camera?
This is mail from Caltro.
Cover your you're doxing yourself, bro. Your address is on the front of that.
Nigga don't care, bro. Anyone can run up
Stop
on him.
Doing that.
This nigga's crazy.
I call. Yeah, I don't give a. I mean, come on, man.
No, but I feel you.
I tell people I'm an EK Booker all the time. You see me outside.
I feel you because like it has to be like a more like communal thing, like you said, because like you for any thoughts I may have on defrag, like anyone doing that was always going to be ambitious, and like, but it makes sense in its action of like there is a lot of dope shit going on. We got Shamar, we got Snotty, we got like a bunch of people doing dope shit, but like trying to nail that down. Like I don't think that's something that can be done on a whim or like over the course of like one piece of writing.
I was trying to be quiet on it. I was trying to be quiet on it because I thought it was a good segue to go into my 4-element conversation. But I really do think that like more so than anything about what Caltrops is doing on that is more theoretical than it is any type of let me create a movement. I think it's more of a theoretical type of thing that here's a theoretical distinction and what defrag might mean in the larger context of this grouping of art that seems to separate itself. But you know, anytime you make those distinctions, I think that they can be a bit reductionist. And his approach, he seems to do the things that a lot of the old heads did, in saying that a lot of the other shit that comes out is banal, vapid, meaningless bullshit, and it just so happens that, you know, it comes across a way when you start talking about black art that way. It
bro,
seems
you're giving away
it's
a
always
free
have
topic,
been,
bro.
It's always been like that, though. It's always been like that. In the early 2000s, when I came across cats and I talked to them about underground hip hop shit, and they named their 5 favorite MCs, and 4 of them are white dudes, and then they still have that idea that's like, nah, I don't listen to Jay-Z. It's like, hold on, man. Like, you don't listen. You don't think Black Thought is dope. You don't think, you know, this other plethora of black artists are doing something meaningful in hip hop. It was a you know, it's a difficult conversation to have, and it's very dialectical. We have to look at it from different ways, but yeah, you know, it's another conversation.
Well, with that Mega, I must ask you, would you rather have dinner with Jay-Z or the 4 elements of hip hop? Which one would you take? Which one would you
where
take?
Jay-Z? Where Jay-Z taking me? He's taking me like Peter Luger's, like Ruth Chris. I get like steak is expensive, bro. To get a tomahawk, Chris, bro. If you get a tomahawk steak, that shit's like $300. I might leave the 4 elements alone. 4 elements of hip hop are dead, bro. It ain't elements no more. I can't lionize them anymore. But
tell us about it.
But you know, one of the things that's interesting, like we were talking about community earlier, and for the people that don't know, I'm a 42-year-old B-boy sapien. I've been a hip-hop person for the majority of my life, even when I was just kind of listening to it by osmosis as it developed in the 80s through my older sisters and such. But by the time I was about 12 years old, I got into hip-hop culture. I started breaking. I was around 15 years old, 13 years old at B-Boy Summit in B-Boy Summit 3 or 1996 Freestyle Session 3. I was at those places where real culture was emerging, and real consciousness was there. It was a really different thing that's kind of changed a lot. Now all of these 4 elements have been kind of compartmentalized and rebranded. It's like most of you know, I'm not one to go and say you need to learn the 4 elements to be a hip hop fan. It's never really been like that in the 2000s plus, but back when I was growing up, there was an impetus that you had to be familiar with certain things to actually be a hip hop head, and you couldn't just fucking listen to the music. If you were repping a city, you had to know the graph heads in your city, and likely you knew the b-boys in your city, and likely you knew all of these people. When I used to go to a hip hop event, I didn't go to like a Billy Woods show where everybody there's a few rappers there and maybe a few artists who do other things. The majority of the people at hip hop shows, these underground shows, were hip hop people who were creating, making, writing graffiti, DJing, making beats. And it was a small, kind of smaller knit community where the fandom was not as pronounced. It was a very participatory 4-element culture, of four art forms or whatever you want to call it, culture where people were coming together and building and also doing things beyond just the music. There was a
name the 4 elements first.
Let's see. We got Twitter, Facebook, Pornhub, and
he can't help himself.
That's what I get for
well, I mean, for people that know, like, there's a couple things. Like, a lot of the cats who come from the Zulu Nation are going to say 5 elements, and they can include knowledge into that. I didn't come from that part of the culture. I was never. I have a lot of homies who are Zulu Nation homies. Shout out to my Poly Rhymes, Apocalypse. So many homies were Zulu Nation, but the basic 4 elements are it's rapping, it's DJing, it's graffiti, and it's breaking. And for me, I've kind of always had my foot in all of those doors. My wife is a B-girl. I met her breaking. We've been together 12 years. My homie Sano, who is one of the greatest graph writers of all time, he's been writing graffiti since 1983. It was because of him that the Illmatic album was pushed back, because they were waiting on the Searchlight fucking icon that he designed. He's in town. He's like, yo, let's kick it. I've always known the graffiti guys in my neighborhoods, and I've always known, even if I didn't know him, I know, oh, that's Tech, that's fucking 24K, that's Yeska, that's all of these guys. If you look on my wall, like, these are real graph artist cats who are legendary for, fucking hitting 500 freights, 4,000 freights and shit. And one of the things that is interesting for me now is that hip hop is so kind of compartmentalized. Like, the B-boys aren't fucking with the hip hop guys and like the rapper guys. The DJ culture, the DMC doesn't have the B-boys at the event. The graffiti has always been hard to get into because it's illegal. And in order to do that shit, you had to either be smoking dust and really doing crime, or you had to be associated with it. It was it's still, and that's still to me the most radical hip hop element, because it is still illegal in a lot of ways and difficult. It's like, it's very much an oral tradition and hard to find out about. But most of the cats that I talk to nowadays, they go and they do the homework on, perhaps the history of hip hop, and they find out Kool Herc, and maybe they hear a name or two, or they find out all the old albums that came out in the 90s or whatever. But very few people that I encounter who are what I would consider like a part of the youth culture, I'd say, like, especially 25 and under, very few of these people could name 5 graph artists that were legendary, or 5 B-boys that were legendary, or 5 active B-boys. And it's interesting to me. It just doesn't work that way for y'all anymore.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work that way for y'all anymore. And so I'm interested I'm interested in your connection with it, because for me, I was a part of an actual community of people who were outside doing these things. And most connections that are made, like you guys are talking about, what is it, Twitter rap or Twitter, whatever y'all call it,
Twitter,
like
whatever.
Rap Twitter, like a lot of those connections are made non-locally. You know what I mean? And there's still local communities, but non-locally.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of starting point for me on this. Is like, I know I wasn't b-boying, but I used to dance a lot. I used to be popping locking with like, not a dance crew, but like, I was in the competitions, I was doing the thing. And like, it's that, like, a lot of the elements of it have been a part of my life, but as a very non-hip hop centered thing. And I think the reason for those kind of like very specific cultures and categories becoming less prominent is linked to a lot of the things we were saying earlier on. Like, the creation and spreading and propagation of all of this, of our art, has completely changed. The way we all interact with it, the way we all create, has completely changed. When we're in a space now, you can create a whole album in your room without ever talking to anyone. You know what I mean? Back when the b-boy shit was a thing, you could not do that. You couldn't make a.
That's right.
You couldn't make us. Not sorry. Back when the 4 element thing was popping, you couldn't do that. You need to go to a studio. You need to know someone who can make beat. You need, like, all of these different elements had a necessity to be in the same space. That was a required. Right. That was a required part. And if you're gonna b-boy, you're gonna b-boy to silence. No, you need a DJ there. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna have if you're gonna be an MC, you need, these things needed to have each other to survive. And as our culture has shifted into a more independently oh, you can be every part of the artistry you create. As that's become more and more of a thing, the community aspect, the community aspect of it has definitely shifted into a different factor of it. I like, me and Trey both make music. I don't make songs with this nigga. I don't like, I'm not saying I wouldn't like to, but the approach of it is I talk to Trey to like have fun, to like talk to him, to connect on like a personal level. The artistry doesn't interweave and overlap as much as it would if we were outside hitting this, like kicking the shit, you know. It's a different, that's right. It's a very interesting change that has come through the internet age. Is you don't need to interact with other people to make your art at all.
Right.
So
and your relationship to hip hop is by virtue of hip hop. It's also by virtue of hip hop's popularity as rap, rap music, as something that's accessible to you at a distance that you don't necessarily have to do anything to participate in. Like when it comes to DJing, you have to purchase the records, you have to learn how to do it, you have to do that. When it comes to graffiti, you have to get the paint, you have to go outside, you have to do that. When it comes to breaking, you have to go outside, you have to practice and do that. Rap is the easiest element of hip hop to market and to sell, and it's also, you know, the most marketed and sold aspect of hip hop culture, and so it's easier for people to get into that. And as time changes, you know, like it's not that
you saying my craft is fraudulent.
No, I'm not saying that you guys are any less legitimate. It's just that, you know, your material conditions have created the way that you interact with the world, and the way that the world functions now is not necessary. It's just exactly what Ko said. There's not a necessity for you to be next to the person that's going to give you the beat. You know what I mean? There's not a necessity for you to have money to get into the studio. There's not a necessity for you have to go through a DJ to get your album played on the radio. There's not any necessity for that anymore. And it's just to me, I kind of have a nostalgia for those days, but you know, like I understand it. I'm just still one of the guys who watches, you know, Freestyle Session every year. That, you know, the 40-year anniversary of the DMC, the turntable competition, happened last month, and I was trying to go. I just didn't make it. Like I'm still into those things, and it's just, you know, like a lot of the weird beats and shit come from like my love for that comes from the weird juggling and turntablism, and I just kind of, you know, I miss motherfuckers just being hip hop like that. Like I'm just so fucking old, bro. Like I'm just so fucking old. Like it used to be I would go to the show, right? I remember one time I was in Oakland. It was like when I first got to the Bay. I was in Oakland and I was walking around, and folks was just like, "Hey, yo, what up?" And I was like, "What's up with it?" And he was like, "You B-boy, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, that's what's up. I rap." And then we became homies. You know what I mean? Well, like B-boy Omega Legs. Like we met like that. Yeah. I remember when at the mall, dude from Chaotic Souls, who was an old hip hop thing, he was like, "Yo, you're hip hop head, right? Here's my CDs." Like you used to be able to recognize people within the culture because the culture was an actual kind of culture and not just like some nebulous kind of thing that you can participate in from a distance. You actually kind of had to be, you know what I mean? We had an outfit, so to speak. There was one hip hop hat. There's one hip hop hand movement. You gotta go like this on the album cover. You know what I mean? Like it was just like that. And I know you guys are younger, but like you guys are not familiar with any graph writers or any turntablists or any b-boys and shit. Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, it depends on how we're defining those.
I know a b-boy.
With graph writers, I'm definitely not. With
his name is Mega.
Turntablists, I'm familiar with quite a few because I'm just like, I like watching people do the fucking thing. Sure. And b-boys, I mean, I knew a lot of dancers because I was a part of that for a while, but none of them. I wouldn't consider them b-boys from a hip hop tradition standpoint. We were just in them spaces, you know, doing the little dance ciphers and shit like that.
Hip hop choreography, hip hop style dances.
Yeah, I mean, we were pop locking, so I mean, it was and what at the time it was like 2014, so not 2014, it was like 2016. I'm like 13, turning 14. Yeah, at that time it was all like electronic shit. So it definitely, I would say my background in that isn't from a hip hop perspective. I do enjoy the whole turntable shit, but it's not. It definitely isn't in the same sense that you're saying, and it's kind of like, it's just like, it's not around me, you know.
Sure.
So it's like I guess
in it is, and it's just hard to find. Yeah.
When you were getting into it, like how much work was it to get in? You know?
Well, it was a bit, because I also had hip hop homies who loved hip hop like Wu-Tang and shit, who were fans, who didn't join the 4-element participatory aspect of it.
Yeah.
For me, it was just like I had a homie who was like into hip hop, and he was in a little bit different hip hop, and then like his homie was breaking, and then I got into breaking at a very kind of young age. And then through breaking and him, I just kept on meeting more and more people who were not focused on hip hop through like the specific lens of fandom or watching it on BET. I got into it to the people who are like, yo, this is actually really what it's about. Like what they tell you over here, that's not it. What they tell you over here is what it's about. And so I also grew up in a city that was not small. You know, I grew up in a city with mad people, you know, like it's not like living downtown like Tokyo like I live now, or even when I was, you know, it was big. Like there were functions. You could go to the beach any Saturday and there was hip hop guys. There was cardboard. People were breaking. So it was like that culture was around for me to get into. Whereas now for y'all, if you want to break in the UK, you got to do a little bit of Googling and find out where people are doing it. You know, and Trey, I don't even know what part of Georgia you're in. I don't even know if there's b-boys out there like that. You know, it's harder. When
I will factually, I'm a factually say that shit is not happening near me. But
Georgia's got a big breaking scene though, but not.
Yeah, I'm referring to my city, but yeah, I feel like just like Coach said, depends where you're situated. Because like I won't say it's not happening at all. Like I know the New York Cats have a show like every other week and shit. They be getting busy. I don't know if they be breaking and getting the graffiti and shit, but they be out there. They be out there connecting and shit. Yeah, for me it's more so like proximity to shit. But like I feel like ideally it's always best to like experience it in person on a more personal level. Yeah, like I'd love to link up with Cole and do a show on some shit. That would be fire.
Yeah.
Like it's not where you're situated at, but I think the scope is so much bigger now where it's like it's not so much as like this community that stays in a specific area. I know niggas from like all over the world at this point upper rap shit.
Yeah.
What like we have Gavin and shit. Like I don't think there's any time that I could ever be like, yo, Gavin, hop on Cool real quick. I want to do a windmill. You know what I mean? Like we're not, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna be all cool and we're gonna like be dancing to each other and shit. I don't think that's like it seems like the way we experience the culture doesn't. As Mega said before, like the easiest to sell is the music. The easiest thing to sell is the audio form that you can get out to everyone immediately. The visuals that are of dancing and the
one that doesn't require immediacy, like it not in the Marxist term I was using earlier, but in the anarchist term of happening right now, not mediated. When you're playing, you're right there with each other playing most of the time. And you can't play like wait, yo. You gonna pop? I'm gonna break. We'll just get our webcam set up. Like that's whack. Nobody want to do that shit. Yeah, I ain't breaking with you. You go pop lock by yourself in the hallway or some shit. I
used to do that one time.
We want to write graffiti. You know, write
graffiti. Hey, for the end of the year recording, we gonna get Mega to break on camera.
That's Patreon exclusive content.
I mean that's possible. Yeah,
it's gonna be behind the $100 tier.
I'll battle my daughter. My daughter breaks. You know what I mean?
Battle
Like,
my daughter is just
yeah,
hilarious.
I'll battle my daughter, man. I'll eat her little ass up. I still got windmills, I think. Yo, I've been dieting on the strength. I've been dieting. I've lost 6 kilos, which is like over 12 pounds for all y'all Americans and shit.
Oh, shit,
I'm trying to get. Yeah, you know, I gotta admit, one of the biggest things that got me back on my Dean was the fact I was like, this little nigga Trey think he really coming for me. If I see him on the street, I gotta make sure I'm ready for his ass. He ain't not finna get me. I heard his brother was a tall basketballer. I gotta make sure I got my shit tight. But nah, you know, I'm just trying to get healthy because I was definitely getting like. I was when I started, I was almost exactly 100 kilos, which is like 205 pounds. Like, you know, like I'm not that tall, but you know, so I was doing that. And then like, so I'm dropping a weight and just trying to get healthy. That's all it is.
Is that like, do you think that how much of that is like in line with this hip hop thing? Like you got the 4 elements and shit. Do you think that you fell out of that as a result of it? Or
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you how I told Cass on that. I'm gonna tell you how I told Cass on that drunken free radio free mega joint. B-boys, yo, you don't fuck with B-boys. Our bodies is fucking extremely agile. Our bodies is doing bodyweight exercise every day. We will fuck you up. Like, I've never seen a B-boy get fucked up, bro. I'm not gonna get into all the details, but Cass wasn't seeing me in high school. Like, even for a little 5'8", 160-pound kid, I was knocking out Mokes who was like 220 pounds. It was easy. It was easy because B-boys were the face of this hip hop shit. That's where the backpack comes from. That's where all that, like, yeah, we was outside. We really, you remember Onyx, like, I'm a B-boy, they weren't talking about basketball. They was talking about being real hip hop with the bald head and shit. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, like, part of me getting healthy is just like, I keep on thinking about getting back to my fight weight. I keep on thinking about getting back to my, like, you know, strong body weight. So that's it.
Fighting, bro.
I'm an angry person, Trey. Like, I'm an angry person. I'm an angry person. And you know, I don't have any excuses for it. Like, I don't drink alcohol because I just thought it was fun. Like, I got a lot of depression issues. I got real addiction issues with that are fucking perhaps epigenetic and shit like that. Like, a lot of trauma, man. I done seen a lot of shit, and the alcohol really, like, sometimes it's the
takes
thing.
the edge
it's
off.
The thing. Yeah, I drink like 4 or 5, like 5 times a week probably. And I'm not drinking to get blackout drunk, but sometimes I drink to the point where it's like 2:00 in the morning and I'm wilding out on the Discord, like, fuck man, DC, nigga, don't ever try to team up with Trey on me again. I'm sick and tired of y'all trying to fusion dance on me every time this shit happens. Like, I crash out, and like, I'm really honest about the shit like that. But like, you know, this is fucking. I got a lot of anger issues. I got a lot, and I'm doing.
You gotta channel them in windmills, bro. That's what we're saying. You gotta bring them shits back. You'll be less angry if you start breakdancing, bro.
Bro,
we promise.
You know, like, it's crazy. I'll be out here, and it's like, you know, I'll be out here with like my cousin out here and shit, right? And like, people do fucked up shit. They think that there's no consequence. I'd be one of the only cats like ready to slap people out here, like really threatening, because they think that you could just yell on somebody, talk disrespectful, do some disrespectful shit, and there's no threat of violence. I'm like, nah, bro, I'll go to jail for 21 days. I got my residency. I could go to jail for 21 days, and I'll sleep that shit off. I'll lose weight in there. Like, I'll be feeling.
You'll be in there doing pull-ups and shit. Oh my goodness.
Like I was telling Castro when we recorded, like, I was really yelling at the cops. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not fucking. I be lying sometimes, but I don't be lying most of the time. I'll really be out here on some dumb shit. I'll be really stupid. Y'all are better than me.
See, that's why he doesn't like the fifth element. That's why he doesn't like the fifth element, bro. He doesn't no knowledge, bro.
How could I approach my life in a very violent way. Seize the means of production, seize the day, uppercut the week, fucking arm bar the month. Like, I'm about to wrap up the year. Come on, man.
Oh, that's bars. Hold up, guys. I have a fun fact to tell you.
Oh, you got your Spotify?
On Schoolboy Q's Setbacks album. Good album.
What?
I personally think the definition of real rap is Q on the second track having a song called Kamikaze, and the whole time he just makes bars out of terroristic attacks that have happened. I think that's real bad.
That's the entire.
I just wanted to say that.
Album.
That's the entire not the album. That's the premise of that song, though. And I was like, they can just making bars out of mad terrorist attacks.
Finally, a rapper who's not a fucking Christian. I'm fucking tired of these Christian rappers.
Cole, do you have any recommendations this week?
Do I have any recommendations? Why are you asking me first, man? You do it.
Megan, do you have any recommendations this week?
I mean, I was joking about watching that the shit that Def C recommended, the Puff Daddy Reckoning, which it was a really well put together documentary.
Reckoning?
The Reckoning, bro.
That's so funny.
Yo, no, it is.
This nigga sound like he's the end of the you gonna bring the end of the world.
This is. I knew most all of these things, but to see it put together so well with the different accounts, this is a real rotten nigga, bro. Like a real rotten nigga. And I'm glad that I have never been on the Puff Daddy fandom shit. Even when like I told y'all, I ditched school for the first time when Biggie died. I love Biggie, but even back then, be like, shut the fuck up, Puff Daddy. Ain't nobody want to hear you talking about, you hate us because you can't love us. Like, shut the fuck up. I've never liked Puffy. And watching this documentary, that's a real rotten ass nigga, bro. Like, I just was appalled. This nigga killed Tupac, bro. Like, it was just real nasty shit. Real. That's not my recommendation. But a real rotten ass nigga, bro. My recommendation, you guys are too young to really experience this the way that I did. I kind of experienced it more like, I'm an 80s kid. Eddie Murphy was my favorite when I was growing up. When I was like 7 years old, my sister, I can't even remember who it was, but in my house, they was watching like Raw or Delirious, one of the first Eddie Murphy joints. And I've been a fan ever since. I've watched Coming to America a million times, Trading Places a million times. Y'all see my little avatar joint on Discord. Y'all know that's Eddie Murphy in Trading Places. Like, I watched the documentary about Eddie Murphy, man, and I felt like a really like tremendous appreciation for him as a groundbreaking artist and somebody who is not necessarily like wildly problematic in a lot of ways. Like, he just seemed like a good dude, like a dude who deserves a little bit more praise than he get, even though he get a lot of praise. I watched that documentary, Being Eddie, I think it's called, and man, I fucking love Eddie Murphy. I fucking man, I should get Eddie Murphy's face tattooed over my face. Fuck this nigga Billy Woods, bro. Like, I just like I like it. For this week man. Is Eddie Murphy's I fucking cool. Like. I like Eddie Murphy, man. I don't know how y'all feel about Eddie. Y'all have a different relationship. This nigga was doing Shrek when y'all was babies and shit. But like, yo, Black Money.
Donkey and Shrek is iconic, bro.
Yo, I love real like niggerish Eddie Murphy. That fool is hella funny to me. Like, I used to have the best of Eddie Murphy Saturday Night Live. I will watch that tape over and over and over, bro. Trey, you would love this song. He pretends to be a reggae artist performing, and the song is called "Kill the White People." It's fucking amazing, bro. Until we kill the white people, we gonna make them hurt. Kill the white people, yeah. But buy my record first. Oh, that shit is hard, bro. That's incredible. Eddie is amazing. Real niggerish Eddie is great, man.
Yeah, no.
Okay, next.
All right, let me go. Dash recommended me this album the other day, and I listened to it yesterday. How You Been by SML. It's a brilliant record. It's like an electronic like jazz thing. It's a brilliant like coalition of those two sounds in just such a smooth way. Apparently the record is taken from like they're doing like live performances, mostly improvised, and they'll record it all in stems and then mix it and they'll process it and sequence it and just create like insane amazing compositions. It's just such a brilliant album. Definitely going to end up on like very high on my year-end list.
It's like jazz electronica, yeah?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's fantastic.
Yo, Dash is brilliant when it comes to more than just hip-hop music, man. Dash really knows some fucking fire. Yeah, this comes from the LA experimental music scene. I love so much of that fucking your Sam Gendels and all those fools. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Hell
brilliant.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's a fantastic album, dude. It's like both like really crisp, but like precise, and then also like really floaty and ephemeral. It's like it is such a brilliant experience. Like the textures on this joint, I was losing my mind listening to this shit. Like
Dash wrote for Pitchfork on this shit.
He wrote
the review and then messaged me about it. They gave it an 8, a solid 8. Hell yeah.
They're wrong. I'm
gonna tap in.
Always remember that the writer on Pitchfork articles picks the score personally.
Well, that's what Dash told me personally. He said that they just say that it's not so they don't get as much vitriol.
Yeah.
No, let me not do that. I was getting on the whole shit. No.
But this has misinformation. We should start spreading misinformation. It's good for the culture.
I'm telling you, we need to find a way to make money by lying more. How can we lie and make more money? Trey, figure it out. Trey, do you have a pillow on you? Is this nigga sleeping?
This nigga is so tired.
Whoa, hard is crazy, bro.
This nigga is so tired. This so tired.
He said this jigaboo is sleeping. My nigga got a silk pillow.
No, this is a satin pillow. It's made out of bonnet material.
I can tell.
Bro, do you see my hair, my luscious hair, bro?
That's a good point.
You need to get a side shave, bro. Do something different with it.
No, bro, do not do that.
This nigga, bro.
I do need a cut. I need a cut. I need a cut. Like that, but
you should just get it braided up. Your hair is locked all the way to the root, so you still got the fuzzy, the rap man Gavin going.
Well, I need a retwist, so like not really.
The rap man.
I've been thinking about twisting my shit up.
Shit costs money and time, so like I'm letting it
rock.
Your
mama can't do it.
I'm being like on some Black and Beautiful. I could probably convince my mom to do it.
This is why you need to stay with the white women.
Like I'll have to bribe her.
Yeah, right. Yeah, tell her check my head for lice. She's like, niggas don't get lice. And be like, nah, just twist it to text. Make sure. Yeah.
Trey, what's your recommendation before you fall asleep?
He said Murray's fucking Blue Magic and shit.
Now listen. This is the second week in a row that I don't have a recommendation, but I need y'all to listen. I need y'all to listen.
I'm paying attention.
I am in my artist mode, and an artist cannot be inhibited by outside sources. So I must be allowed to cook in my incubator, and the fruits of my labor will show in due time.
And he's in the hyperbolic time period right now.
I was about to hate on that shit so hard, but the 2 tracks he sent us, man, especially that first joint, I ain't gonna say no names. That first joint, I was like, God damn, Trey going off on this shit. That shit is hard. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the reception on that, Trey. That shit is hard.
Damn, he is so tired though. Look at this guy.
No, I'm good. I'm so good.
No, you're not.
Don't say you good holding the pillow, leaning back in a lazy boy recliner and shit, nigga. He said, no, I'm good.
I'm fine.
Hey, Cole, you want to close the show?
Yeah, I'm down.
Nigga, move on. It's 2 hours already we've been recording.
All right, cool. Shout out to What's Up with the Minutes. We have been What's Up with the Minutes, episode 8. Thank you very much for listening. Subscribe to our motherfucking Patreon, and you can get this shit a week early. People who have subscribed
putting this shit out right after this.
Immediately. On expeditious timing out here, man. You gotta be fast and speedy and shit. Thank you so much for listening. And good night to Trey specifically.
T.I. got a podcast called Expeditiously, but it's like capitalized to T.I. because T.I. and he said that shit once upon a time. That nigga is extremely washed, but Prom T.I. was fire. He was also doing weird shit like checking his daughter's hymen though, so like it also fucked that nigga. But like
T.I.
Expeditiously, we gonna wrap this shit up expeditiously.
We already did that, bro. And then you started talking about doing assignments and shit, bro. That's crazy.
Nah, that's the way. I think he said that shit on like an interview. Like he would check his daughter to make sure she wasn't fucking or some shit. Like really gross, nasty, kind of almost incestuously disgusting. Insecure father shit. Like, ugh.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I'm glad I've never fucked with T.I. I always thought he looked a little bit weird. Like one of the like
the early music was hard to.
I wouldn't know because I was listening to fucking weird shit.
Megan, you don't fuck with Southern rappers, bro. You don't have to put some
That's
respect.
not true.
You know, Mega. You know, I'm a Southern boy.
I was just about to say that one of my favorite parts about T.I. is when he was battling Lil Flip, and Lil Flip posted the picture with his head on the starving Somalian or whatever. That shit was funny as hell, bro. It was like a starving Somalian, and he put T.I.'s head on it. That was funny. I fuck with Southern rap, man. I was fucking like Outkast. I was listening to Outkast before you was born. I fucking love Southern rap.
Roses really smell like
yeah. Are we gonna do an extra topic, or are we just gonna get out?
This nigga Trey, he doesn't want to be
talk,
here, bro.
I mean, we can just talk for a little bit, bro. Like, listen, I'm finna tell you all my YouTube music rap, okay?
Oh, it's out. It's out. I've just found the 25 Wrapped is out, dude.
Oh, yeah. Are you on Spotify?
Yeah, it's out. The Spotify one's out.
Oh, let me see if my shit is out. I doubt it.
Oh, and you scroll down now. If you look up, you can find it on. If you look up Spotify Wrapped on Google.com.
Oh shit, I do got mine. Oh Trey, shit, bro, I do got mine.
You're killing me, bro.
Bro, I'm stiff in this chair, bro.
Oh.